may I please ask for a roll call?
Supervisor Riley?
Present.
Clerk Anzaldi?
Present.
Treasurer Eppican?
Present.
Trustee Ernie Thompson? Trustee Jaffer?
Present.
Trustee Graybeck? Trustee Mills?
Present.
Madam Supervisor, you have 5 members present.
Thank you. We do have a quorum, and I will go ahead and ask for a motion to approve the agenda.
Madam Chair, I move to approve the agenda for
Second.
November 20, 2025.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, I will go ahead and open up for public comment. Any person may come forward at this time to address the board. Anyone who wishes to speak is requested but not required to state his or her name and address for the record. Okay. Seeing none, we'll go ahead and move right into new business. May I have a motion?
Madam Chair, I move to adopt a resolution instituting a temporary moratorium on approval of data centers.
Second.
Okay, I do want to just preface this and give a little background on it. We do not have anybody coming to us asking about data centers. We have not had any meetings or anything else. This is proactive. This is to put parameters in place prior to what might happen. We are watching our community members around us, Saline Township, Ypsi Township, Augusta, state of Michigan. A while ago, Senator Slotkin had come into town and talked to local officials and said, the state has kind of opened it up for data centers, so start preparing. So we started preparing by putting together an ordinance. Again, not because we've been approached by anyone. I don't want anybody to panic or think that's happening. It has not happened. No conversations have been happening. But we had some residents come forward and say they would feel more comfortable if we put a moratorium in place for 6 months while we worked on the ordinance. Making sure that nothing can happen in the meantime. And this way we can work with our area partners, the county, state, other communities to make sure we put a robust ordinance in place. There's a planning commission meeting tonight. The public hearing was canceled, and the ordinance we worked on more in-depthly, and those public hearings will still happen. So nothing is being put out of place or anything like that. It will still happen. We want to make sure everybody understands that. This is just to put in place a moratorium so that nothing can be discussed, nothing can be approved for 6 months while we put the ordinance in place. And I encourage everyone to come to the Planning Commission meetings as the Planning Commission vets out the new ordinance. Is there any other discussion or comments we want to make on that? And I do encourage our board as well to be involved in this whole process, because this is something that is coming into Michigan, whether you're for or against and everything, we need to protect our residents and Pittsfield Township's resources.
Yeah, Supervisor Riley, I do agree, and I think it's a really good step too, instead of just throwing an ordinance out there and approving it, to be more thoughtful and deliberate with it. I think it's really important. Data centers are popping up all over the place. They are causing a lot of concern for a lot of residents. And quite frankly, for myself, I am very concerned about this issue. And I appreciate the breathing room to try and figure out what steps we need to take going forward. And it is a very complicated issue because we, already we are all using AI, right? Even if it's just a little bit. But at the same time, we want to be respectful and thoughtful about the way that if we bring any of these things into our community, that we take into consideration all the many complex factors that go into making a decision like this. So thank you.
Yeah, and I will say that, I have talked to area experts, and even though we're not really a target, we don't have a huge amount of land, and we don't have cheap land, it doesn't matter. I think it's better just to be extra buttoned up regardless to protect our residents. So. All right, any more comments before we vote?
I was just going to add on, we know that some of our neighbors would be directly affected, and that does affect us. So being proactive not just benefits us, but benefits the county as a whole.
Agreed.
All right. All right, so I will go ahead and ask for a roll call vote.
Supervisor Riley?
Yes.
Clerk Anzaldi?
Yes.
Treasurer Eppican?
Yes.
Trustee Jaffer?
Yes.
Trustee Mills? Yes. Supervisor Riley, you have 5 yeas.
Thank you. Our resolution is adopted. All right, I will go ahead and open up for public comment too. Again, any person may come forward at this time to address the board. Anyone wishes to speak is requested but not required to state his or her name and address for the record.
My name's Linda Bowman. I live in Lake Forest. I think the delay is particularly relevant, given that there is a suspicion, according to ChatGPT, that we may be approaching an AI bubble. So that any 6 months, 15-year fiscal deliberations are very much going to hang on, is this like the dot-com bubble, which is posed by ChatGPT as being similar to a possible AI bubble? So thank you for considering this delay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, are there any other residents or people who'd like to speak from the public?
Hi, my name's Dave Dickinson. I'm at 5731 Lakeshore Drive. I want to thank the Township for agreeing to this moratorium. I think that's a good approach. I'm not necessarily opposed to data centers. I think it's just moving so fast that I think we just need more time to think through what are the benefits and what are the consequences. So thank you for taking this step. I'd also like to make an appeal, I think, to the farm landowners and to the township to give some real careful thought as to what decisions they make to do with their land. I don't begrudge their right to sell their land and do what they want, but I would ask them to just not consider the highest price that's being offered to them. And I'm sure with the tax breaks that are being offered, the pressure and speed at which a lot of developers are going to come in to try and get land to develop these centers is going to be very great, not only on the landowners, but also on this township. But I think consideration should be given not only to the highest price, but also what is the common good. And I only wish that our state officials had given a little more thought about this process, because what I hear is that in the case of Saline Township, they're offering up to maybe $425 million in tax breaks in exchange for 450 permanent jobs. Okay, that's almost $1 million per job. I only wish that maybe they had thought this through and thought, well, maybe we could give some of that money to the landowners and to developers in exchange for promises to build affordable housing in this area on that land that will allow us to keep our kids and these jobs in this area, and allow us to also meet some of our sustainability goals. So thank you again, and I appreciate the time.
Well
Thank
said.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Seeing no other comments, I will go ahead and ask for a motion to adjourn.
Madam Chair, I move to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, our meeting is adjourned at 2:09.